And I thought we were going to have a stop there at the end, but we got called for the PI, and it didn't work out.
Well, I didn't have a decision on that one. That wasn't my decision. I thought maybe we're going to have 4 chances to go.
Feel bad for Aaron today. Hey, Ryan Clark's here. RC, good to see you, as always.
Good to see y'all.
Stephen A., I'm going to start with you. Do you think that LaFleur cost them a potential trip to the Super Bowl?
I think the operative word is potential, and that's why I say yes. It's not definitive because Aaron Rodgers had numerous chances throughout the game, and obviously he came back from an 18-point deficit, but still hadn't at least tied the score. So we can't definitively say yay or nay in that regard. But when you talk about the word potential, yes, I think LaFleur compromised that. I think there's no question about that. Now, to make sure that we're specific, we talked about them needing a first down, Tom Brady needing a first down and giving them the ball back with him needing a first down. Our researchers have illuminated for me that it's not just one first down because they did have 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. So in all likelihood is that he would have needed more than just 1 timeout. We get all of that. But my point is you didn't need a field goal. You didn't need a touchdown. You didn't need to score at all. You basically just needed to run out the last 2 minutes, and you allowed Tom Brady to get the ball back with the notion that you were going to be able to prevent him from holding the ball for the final 2 minutes of the game. Who the hell bets their money on that? I don't give a damn what analytic statistic you come up with. You don't make that decision, particularly when Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback. I think as a result, you know what? Basically, to me, it proved Matt LaFleur coaching scared. I think it was a choke job on his part. I think as a result, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm just disgusted by the whole situation. I'm disgusted by Jordan Love being there. Not anything against Jordan Love, but you drafted my successor right in front of my face, basically giving up on me at some point and saying that you see the handwriting on the wall. I don't think they've shown him the deference and respect he deserves. And if I'm Aaron Rodgers, this was the last straw to me. Remember, this ain't the first time I said Aaron Rodgers should win out, Max. Remember that. I've said it long before the NFC Championship game appearance. He shouldn't want to be there anymore. And yesterday just punctuated that point for me even more. To me, that's exactly how he should feel. I don't give a damn about LaFleur's 26-6 record in his 2 seasons as the Green Bay Packers coach. It would happen to be because he's got a quarterback that's thrown for over 8,300 yards, 74 touchdowns, and just 9 interceptions in that span. I'm done with LaFleur if I'm Aaron Rodgers.
LaFleur blundered, but he did not cost Rodgers a chance to win the game. Rodgers cost Rodgers a chance to win the game. You're the MVP. You're at home. You have what looks like a better team most of the year, and you lose to a 43-year-old because you can't get it done. That ain't on the coach. Sorry. And I've said for years, Rodgers is clearly better than Brady. I amend that. Brady is the GOAT, but he's also better. It turns out at the quarterback position, if you have the requisite arm strength, there's nothing over decision-making. And Brady owns that department, even better than Aaron Rodgers, who's also a very good decision-maker, but not on Brady's level, period. We saw it yesterday. He had 3 shots at the end of the first half with Davante Adams. They couldn't link up in the red zone. They kicked the field goal. And that had a ripple effect. They had to go for the extra point. And that's another point. Now it's a 4-point swing. It's a 5-point swing, which was the margin of the game. That's the margin they lost by, right? He couldn't link up with Davante Adams, and then Tom Brady came right down the field after that and threw a touchdown bomb. But forget about the first half for a second. Let's talk about LaFleur's blunder. It was a blunder for sure. Do you know why that was even an option, which it shouldn't have been? Because on the previous play, Rodgers had daylight and he didn't run. That's a touchdown. Or worst case scenario, he gets stopped at the 1. Believe me, if he stopped at the 1, then they're going for it. He wasn't going for it from the 8. From the 1, he's going for it. No, Rodgers had chances in that game. He's one of my all-time favorites. He didn't get it done. That is not on LaFleur. They won 13 games again. This time they won 2 playoff games. This is not on coach.
Absolutely is on the coach. Oh my goodness, for the last 5 years, I've been wrong about Tom Brady. I got to jump on one of the other greatest of all time just so I can have something negative to say today. Did you not watch the game? Like, you're talking about Tom Brady being a better decision maker. He threw 3 picks yesterday. Aaron Rodgers had 340 plus and 3 touchdowns. He had, in the second half, he had 340 plus and 3 touchdowns. Equiminius St. Brown drops the 2-point conversion that has them in this situation. You're talking about the misses to Devontae Adams. It was a perfect back shoulder throw that they execute all the time. And when Devontae Adams has his head down on the ground and he's beating the ground, it's not because it's a bad throw. It's because Devontae Adams 9 times out of 10 makes that catch, and that was the 10th time that he didn't. Matt LaFleur took the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. Here is what happens if Aaron Rodgers gets an opportunity on 4th and 8 or on 4th and 9, wherever they were on the field, and they don't get it. Today we walk in and talk about Aaron Rodgers' inability to convert at that opportunity or to make that play in that critical situational football moment. But Matt LaFleur didn't give him the chance. This is like having an opportunity to shoot the technical foul, and instead of putting Steph Curry out there, you put JaVale McGee. He made the wrong decision. He placed his defense back out there that had Kevin King playing for it. If I got a chance to make a play yesterday and one unit has Aaron Rodgers and the other unit has Kevin King, I'm picking the unit that got Aaron Rodgers. So that's on Matt LaFleur. The reason they're back in the game is because of Aaron Rodgers, because he did make plays, because he kept them going, because he kept them in the game. The reason they're in that spot is because of the pass to Valdez-Scantling. It's because of the plays he made to get him there. So give him that shot. And here's the last thing I got to say about Matt LaFleur. It's competition. Every time you do something, if you're competitive, it's competition. When I come on this show, it's a competition with y'all two. Period. No matter how many times we do it, much as I love y'all, that's what it's about. If I'm looking across the field and the dude across the field made a decision going into halftime that on 4th and 3, I'm going to throw the ball to playoff Lenny. And then with 6 seconds left, I'm not going to try to throw the ball out of bounds and get a field goal. I'm going to trust my first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback, the greatest of all time, to throw the football to probably my 4th or 5th receiver, who is my speed guy, Scotty Miller, down the field because he likes the matchup. Let Aaron Rodgers like the matchup. You stole that from him. That's on Matt LaFleur.
I'm
That's
not arguing that
hindsight.
point.
You paid to have the foresight to win the game.
I'm not arguing that point. I said Matt LaFleur blundered. Here's the difference between Brady and Rodgers. You're right. Brady actually made more mistakes than Rodgers throughout the course of that game. But in the highest leverage moments, he didn't. And there's no way around this. After the series that I mentioned before the first half, and then Brady threw the touchdown pass, that was the difference in the game, really. It's a 5-point swing when you add it all up. The decisions that people made subsequently. But consider the play right before. Why wasn't it 1st and goal or a touchdown? Because Rodgers didn't run when he had daylight. That is decision making.
From a
So
yeah,
he blundered. The coach blundered, but Rodgers did before.
Hold on, Ryan. From a generic perspective, you religiously sit out here and talk about how plays happen, but in the end, what does it come down to? In the end, what it came down to was a coach that coached scared. He leaned on numbers. And I understand why you're averse to admitting that, because he leaned on numbers and analytics, and we all know nobody loves
it's a mistake.
more than you.
That's a mistake.
I understand. I'm not saying you didn't say it was a mistake. I'm just saying in terms of your compassion for his mistake. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, he coached scared, and he took the ball out of the hands of a soon-to-be league MVP, who is widely recognized as one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen, who threw for 356 yards and 3 touchdowns yesterday. You got a 2-point conversion that hit St. Brown in the chest, in his numbers. He dropped it somehow, some way. All right, Devontae Adams couldn't keep his feet in bounds for another play. You got the guy on the backside. I think that was Adams, like you said. They do that play all the time, but he had his head down, missed the pass while he's banging himself on the turf. Aaron Rodgers was flat out balling, and you are Matt LaFleur. The only reason you're relevant, the only reason you're there is because of that man, and you took the ball out of his hands. It's unconscionable what he did. Unconscionable.
You can't do that, man.
So why doesn't anyone address the play where Rodgers didn't run? It seemed like you were about to.
Max,
does anyone want to address that?
He should have ran.
Max, we can address that play. If he runs, we don't know what happens. We don't. Maybe he scores, maybe he gets closer, and then it's an easier decision for Matt LaFleur. I'm not saying that play was correct, but isn't this what happens, though? Let's think about how we look at LeBron or how we look at Michael Jordan. And throughout these basketball games, you have all these plays that happen, but it comes down to the last shot. It comes down to that decision. If you got 40, whatever, you say, is it such and such fault because they didn't drain that shot? That's what legacies are built on. Matt LaFleur was in the moment. He had an opportunity to build a legacy. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't get it, you know what we talk about today? The fact that Aaron Rodgers came up short, but he never got the chance.
By the way, again, we're not disagreeing about that. That's a blunder by the coach. But there were chances in the game, high leverage moments, where you either make the play or you don't. Guys, we just saw the video replay.
But I wanted to go to the video.
You guys made more plays than everybody.
I want to go to that video for you, Matt.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Aaron Rodgers on the play where he could have ran in, he wasn't even looking at the open space. He was looking at the receiver, so he made a blunder. It wasn't like he saw the open space and got scared to run. He was looking at the receiver because he made an assumption that somebody had him covered because he was eyeing the receiver the whole time. So he messed up. But you're going to compare that mess up to Matt LaFleur being on the sidelines, knowing that you got this dude, that bad man, as your quarterback against Tom Brady after Bruce Arians leaned on Tom Brady to end the first half, like Brian pointed out, as competition. And you're going to sit up there and take the ball out of there?
I see why we're debating. I see what's going on. No, I'm not excusing Matt LaFleur. That was a blunder. What I'm saying is, if you looked at like win probability, guys, if Aaron Rodgers runs, and you're saying he's not scared. I'm not saying he was scared. He didn't see it or he chose not to do it, whatever. You can see clearly from the video. Ryan, let's say he gets stopped and he doesn't punch it in. It's a 1 yard line. We're talking about 1st and goal. And I assure you Matt LaFleur goes for it there, right? So that if Rodgers runs, they are highly likely to score a touchdown on this drive. The fact that he didn't stopped it. If LaFleur opts to let Rodgers pass on 4th down from the 8, is that a bigger or lower leverage play or in terms of trying to win? The higher percentage of like the win probability added or whatever is if Rodgers runs. He had it. So I can't turn around now and blame the coach. He had it. Rodgers could have won that game.
But Max, you're talking, but you know why Rodgers couldn't have won that game? Because he was on the sideline on the winning play. Like, that's the issue. We could say no matter how you get to the point where it's time to make the winning play. I know they say, oh, there's so many plays in the game. One play doesn't win the game. One play doesn't lose a game. That's a lie. Because when you're in the moment, that one play can win the game. And that was the play. That was the moment. And Matt LaFleur messed it up. Period. There's no excuses for it. It's unacceptable. He didn't give his best player, one of the best players we've ever seen, an opportunity to be great. And that's why you have him there. And that's why Aaron Rodgers looked the way he did after the game. That's why Molly now feels sorry for the man, because the man didn't get a chance. I can tell you right now, if Aaron Rodgers gets to walk off that field after not running, after not completing a pass on 4th down or not converting on 4th down, I guarantee you he can live with that. And he can say after the game, I wasn't good enough.
We're not arguing about that.
He can't say that because he didn't get a chance to do that.
We're not arguing about that, and I want to address something you said off the top. I'm not looking to say something negative today because I was wrong about Brady. So now Aaron Rodgers, the only reason I'm not known as more of an Aaron Rodgers supporter and like fan is because I'm on the show with Stephen A., who's the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan. I love Aaron Rodgers. I thought until very recently, he was the best who ever did it. I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm not looking to say anything negative about him. But sports is the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. It is a zero-sum game. Winners and losers, heroes and goats, and not the good kind of goat, right? So the fact of the matter is, everything you're saying about LaFleur's call is true. I agree with you. On the very previous play, Rodgers blew it. He blew it. So coulda, shoulda, woulda, what Rodgers might have done on 4th down is one thing. I know what happened on 3rd down. I know that because I saw it. He didn't get it done.
Max, And what makes your argument so weak in this regard is that there isn't a single game in any sport where we can't point to previous plays that could have taken place that may have determined an outcome. But what we will always lean on is when there is a chance and your best player is stripped of the opportunity to close the deal, to put it on him. It's almost like the officials calling plays and taking the game away from the players. What do we scream at them and say? It's about the players. It ain't about you. And LaFleur himself, LaFleur, made it about him. He made it about him in the worst possible way.
Well, the officials did that. The officials did that on the play that ended the game.
Listen, you sit back and you throw all of that stuff out the window. You go like this. I got the bad man right here. You got Brady. I got him. And then you look at Aaron Rodgers and go like this. It's on you, bro. It's your time. Take us there or not. I'm talking one play. Take us there. It's yours. That's what you paid him for. That's why he's that bad man. That's why the only thing that matters other than him in Green Bay is cheese. That's why. Because he's Aaron freaking Rodgers.